I'm Vin.
I'm Sori.
That's Booby.
And Jumpy and Ghosty.
Dillinger escape plan when good dogs do bad things.
Strange.
Yeah, this should be a very, very interesting
I always think it's weird when like people have like a long band name and then a long title to their song. It's like, that is a lot of writing. So this one was picked by the big homie Jay.
Oh,
and
hey.
Here is Where in the World
is the village.
is the village. And here he is wearing the Sori Secret shirt.
That is a pretty damn cool
Yeah,
picture.
I know. Look, it says hate on his face.
Yeah.
Yikes.
Excellent.
So,
for timely topical political commentary, you can hit us up at Middle America with Vin and Sori.
well, speaking of hate, you can hate Vinny.
Right, where you will find out why one of my good channel buddies said that I am the single most infuriating person on the internet. Mm-hmm. And my Austrian buddy said I'm a very difficult person to love. You, dear listener, will be able to see why very quickly if you tune into Middle America with Vin and Sori. Also, there's multiple ways to get your song reviewed. One way, basic way, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, email, vinandsori@gmail.com. The best way to do it, in my mind, is to join an alliance, $1 at the gate. You get in there, you get into a little sub-community. It's pretty awesome, in my opinion. And then if you want a golden ticket, like at Disney World, or you buy out the park and you go straight to the head of the line everywhere.
Fast.
Like that episode of Full House. Then you get a Fast Pass, $75 partner tier, gets you a Fast Pass, and gets you your song reviewed, which is what Jay did. So this is the Dillinger Escape Plan. I don't think we've ever done a song from this band before. And this is When Good Dogs Do Bad Things. The album is Irony is a Dead Scene. Let's do it.
Go.
I'm the best you'll ever have.
Very odd.
No. Ah.
Okay.
We love you, Jay, but I'm not gonna let you babysit our kids. This is a scary song.
I'll let Jay babysit the kids. He'd probably start running away though.
You would. He'd be like, no.
Once Dorian starts attacking him.
He'd be like, please, please. Why are there so many of them? Oh man, that's a really scary sound. A very scary song.
Okay, so one of the things that's interesting is this guy Mike Patton. I'm pretty sure he's in another band. He's in the I'm pretty sure he's in that band. We covered the band, but anyway, he's from another band. But I think they broke up, and now he's in this band. I'm sure.
Is this recent?
2002.
Oh my gosh! I thought this was actually very old.
No.
I got deceived by the album cover.
So it looks like, funny enough, it's a relationship song.
It is?
Well, I'm the best you'll ever
You're
have.
crumpling something under the table there.
So?
Well, it's just so good for reviews.
It's a letter.
Maybe it's the
I'm the best.
Maybe it's the receipt we're looking for.
That's good.
I just wanted people to see your disdain on camera.
I'm the best you'll ever have. You're the best I'll never have. So that's a relationship. That's what you say in a relationship. You know, you're the best I ever had, or vice versa. Mm-hmm. So.
Yeah. Oh yeah, that sounded like that.
So it starts off right from the beginning. It's talking about a relationship,
but
and then it got
like,
pain, gone, rain, stop, sunshine, you're mine. So it looks like she left him, and he's having a hard time with the thingamajiggy.
Okay. Yeah.
And
but here, kitty, kitty.
The song's kind of interesting because it starts off. The first half of the song is mega chaotic.
Yeah.
And it doesn't seem to be a lot of rhyme or reason, and then it gets, to be more conventional in the second half of the song, and maybe that's the essence of what it's like to go through a breakup.
Oh, breakups are so hard.
At the beginning it's all chaotic and such, but I haven't really gone through a lot of them. You know what I mean? Like, so especially all the chaos was in the relationship in the last relationship I was in. So, but I would imagine that it especially if you. And this is some good dogs do bad things. I don't really know what the dog part is here. Maybe he's talking about himself. That's why he's saying here, kitty, kitty, right? Yeah. So she would be the kitty and he would be the dog, and then, well.
But dogs are not good to cats.
Right. The dog's usually a predator, and then you hear him talking about mercy killing on the way. So maybe he's talking about himself when good dogs do bad things, right? And then
because he does something bad to her.
Right, because
Listen through the walls, the sound of quick footsteps sneaking down the hall, whispers, the page is turning, leaky roof, the toilet flushing, numbers on the license plate.
I think it's him like spying on her.
Yeah. Stop, it's so creepy, babe.
Yeah.
I'm nothing more than the best you'll never have.
A speck on your bedroom wall, a blood red
so he
waterfall.
Kills her.
Well, I don't know. Maybe.
I mean, that's what it sounds like.
Yeah. Your dead things are locked up inside, blow smoke and straight back in time, roses floating out with the tide, dancing and sing under gunfire, open wings slowly taking flight. It just looks like, it's processing the whole concept. Maybe she probably was with another dude, you know what I mean? The sound.
Why would you get that? How would you get that?
Because he's saying, listen through the walls. The sound of quick footsteps sneaking down the hall. Like, sneaking. Why are you sneaking? See what I'm saying? Whispers, pages turning. It just seems like there's something that she doesn't want him to see. And he's saying, I'm seeing it. I'm not necessarily a stalker per se, but he knows what she did, basically. Which is really interesting considering the movie, not the movie, but the show we just got done watching. Yeah. It's about this guy who keeps falling in love with these girls, and he thinks that he loves them. Yeah. But he doesn't really love them. But you and I have a debate on that because you're like, no, he loves them.
No, I don't have a debate on the fact whether he loves them or not. My debate is whether he intentionally did something or not.
Oh, yeah.
That's what our debate is. And I
He accidentally buried that young lady alive.
No, I didn't say that he accidentally buried her. I said he accidentally killed her. I don't think that he thought he killed her. I don't think his intention was to kill her.
If you say so. But anyway, it's a very amazing thing that human beings, relationships are literally the hardest thing in the world to do and to maintain.
Yeah.
And yet we keep doing it. Mm-hmm. You know?
Well, it kind of feels like one of those things.
We keep
like
going after it.
Yeah, it kind of feels like one of those things where it's like you can't like live without it, but yet you know, like the whole you can't live with it, can't live without it sort of thing. It kind of feels like that. Like, oh my god! Like there's some days where like you know stuff's not going super smooth with us, and I'm like, ugh, this is so difficult. Yeah. And then there are other days where I'm like, this is the best thing in the world. I would never trade this for anything.
Right.
So it's like, I mean, it has its you know.
Yeah, and I agree, but there's just so many pitfalls to the thing, and there's ways to not have any conflict in a relationship. You know, we've talked about that a lot. Mm-hmm. There's, you know, everybody just keeps themselves to themselves and don't, you know, whatever. But so it's a very, very interesting thing. But you know, when a person pours their entire life and identity into being in a relationship, and sometimes I'm like, you know, I had that friend in high school who like, you know, right out the gate, 9th grade, like he almost wanted to be married, and the rest of us were so confused. It's like, there's literally thousands of girls in the city. Like, our high school was packed with them. You know, all different colors, shapes, sizes, etc., flavors, and he was just stuck on this concept of like being with, you know, and we were just like, what are you doing, bro? Mm-hmm. Like, why? And then I thought to myself, like, man, I don't know if he likes this girl or likes the concept of being with someone. Mm-hmm. Which is not the same thing. No, it's not. But it gets confused a lot. People confuse their desire or their fear of loneliness to be synonymous with loving the person. Mm-hmm. Yeah. And so, you know, obviously everything is on a scale because, I mean, to be, you know, God, see, it's not good that man be alone. So it's, I'm not going to say that loneliness is a bad reason for wanting to be in a relationship. What I will probably say is if it's the ultimate reason that you want to be in a relationship, that's probably going to be, you know, I saw this meme from Keanu Reeves when he was like, I don't know why people keep saying that they're sorry for single people. And I don't even know if Keanu actually said it. They put Keanu there because Keanu's basically has become the pope of Western ideology. Like he's almost this like beyond reproach guy because he's such a nice guy. I mean, rightfully so. And he basically said, you know, I learned to shop for myself. I learned to take myself out to restaurants. Da 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 da. So if I do end up in a relationship, I'm a whole person by myself. And I think that's that's an interesting thought. That is a really interesting thought about making sure that you know. And there's variations of that, you know, in Christianity where it's like, don't worry about the wife you're going to find. Worry about being the right husband, you know, or vice versa. Yeah. I think there's a lot of value in that, you know, or like Nuri Muhammad said a couple days ago where he said relationships aren't 50-50, they're 100-100. But what happens is that if you get one person who's whole, let's say that one person's 100%, and then you get another person who's 70%, that 70% person will put it on the other person to make up the other 30. Yeah. Yeah. And that type of burden is so heavy that they will abandon ship in any way they possibly can. Yeah. Well, I think that, you know, sometimes people don't realize that, you know, relationship is about partnership. And you talk about partnership a lot, but that's a big thing about relationships is it is about partnership. It's not about, you know, hey, what can you do for me? But it's what can we do together?
So I think that when you
What are
go
we
into a
trying to build?
relationship,
Yeah.
and you're trying to like get something from the other person to fill up some, like you say, insufficiency in yourself, then it causes for a very stressful relationship. And I mean, I've done that with you a lot of times because you're such a strong person that it's hard to not like take too much instead of being like, no, wait a minute, that's not what this relationship is. Like, this is us together, like doing something and building something. I mean, obviously, that's not the sum total of our relationship, but that has been an issue. And I think that, it's interesting because when you were saying that about him, it's weird because I had this thought growing up that I shouldn't do too many things because if I do too many things, then I'm going to make all those I was trying to save, like, all kinds of first experiences for my husband. Like, so can't do that thing, can't do this thing, save all these things, we'll all be the first. But then that's an interesting take on it, is to say, well, no, I mean, do all of those things, experience things, do things, and be who you are. And
Well, what things are you talking about?
oh, like just go skydiving, go this, go that, you know what I mean? Like
okay,
those types of things,
Okay.
yeah.
You needed to clarify.
Okay, so there's a clarification.
Well,
But
yeah.
You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah, be your own person.
just do the things that you want to do, and then when you meet the person, you share those experiences with them, and like learn to shop for yourself. Can you cook? And
Yeah. Establish your own identity.
Yeah.
So that you don't co-opt the identity of the other person.
No, that's true. A lot of times that happens. People lose who they are, and they become like 2.0 of the person that they're with.
Yeah. I mean, you got to be
How boring.
as whole as possible.
Yeah.
Especially, and people aren't going to like this, but especially if you're a man, like from a biblical perspective, Adam was whole before God made him a wife. I think it's very, very instructive. You've got to, and of course, there's nobody that's like completely 1,000% completely perfect and whole. That's not what I'm talking about. But what I am talking about is like the propensity we have to make the other person fill that, whatever it is that we're insecure about or whatever.
Yeah.
And all you do is just transfer those insecurities into the relationship and then, whatever. But then on top of that, it's like, I never really understood the whole I'm going to cheat on you thing. Like, because I'm such a big communication guy. So, like, if she didn't want to be with him anymore, just say I don't want to be with you anymore. Like, don't, like, sneak around and, like, well, just, that's too much energy, man. Just tell a person, like, okay, like, we're done. It's over.
Yeah, but maybe she could see. I agree with you, and I think that obviously that's the best way to handle a given situation. But, like, if this guy is the way that I'm understanding him to be in this song, like maybe telling him wasn't something that she was, you know what I'm saying? Like to tell that person, listen, this is not working for me. Right. Maybe she was a bit afraid of what his reaction was going to be, Right. I've known people where they, the person said, I'll kill myself if you ever left me. We can't put that on somebody else. Like, and that right there is an indicator that you've put way too much into that relationship, unhealthily so. Right. Which could be the possible reason why the person doesn't really want to be around, because you put all that pressure on them. Who knows?
Yeah.
We were just talking to, two people just the other day, today, where it's applying so much pressure in a relationship for the person to fill something in you and make you feel a certain way that it ends up pushing the people away.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Obviously, this is artistic license. I'm sure Mr. Patton has not killed anyone, but he probably, he's probably been through some pretty nasty breakups, I presume.
Stop scrolling, please. That part I thought was sad, and around these parts, a fly can live 1,000 years, but a man cannot die soon enough. True enough. So he just wants, and obviously a fly, and I don't know if this is what he's saying, but a fly really doesn't live for 1,000 years. When a fly is in your house, it really does feel like it's way over living its lifespan.
Right.
You know what I mean? But then it's really not. Like, I think they have a relatively short lifespan. So if he's saying, like, it seems that a fly, if it seems that a fly is living 1,000 years, like, his life must be really not moving. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah, but I think it's also a value statement, like, something as pathetic as a fly can outlive a human being.
Yikes. Yeah.
And it sort of puts things into perspective, I suppose.
When he says, I guess it's time to pay the bill, but I never will. I'm hungry still. do you think that he's saying that, like, it sounded to me at one point that he was, like, wanting to end his own life, which is the part where he's saying, you know, he basically wants to die and you're just living beyond that. But then he's saying, but then it sounds like, that part to me sounded like to pay the bill meant to, like, end his life. But, you know, I never will, I'm hungry still.
Right.
Like, he still has that drive to have that relationship in him. So he's like, well, that one really wrecked me, you know, and it's been whatever. But at the same time, like, I still have my sights set on, you know.
Yeah, which, you know, that line, I'm hungry still, and then the subsequent Mercy killing on the way, telling her to run away, he kind of styles him as a predator. Mm-hmm. And it's a strange dichotomy, because even in the show, like, the guy's a predator, but he comes across to himself as a sympathetic figure, which is very, very interesting. You know, like, many of us don't know when we're actually the bad guy.
Yeah.
Now, of course, obviously he took it to another level, like, by, you know, the violence. On the other hand, it's like, geez, young lady, just that's a, you know, I being in a situation like that, because I'm not going to get into details, but I've had similar situations like that happen to me relationship wise, and the thing for me was I kind of knew what was going to happen. You know what I mean? Like, it was clear as day to me, like, this is a person who wants to sabotage our relationship. And so I kind of knew, like, okay, like, so aside from she was afraid of his violent, you know, whatever. And we had this conversation a lot about, like, communication, especially female to male communication. Like, I wonder where the breakdown, because this person never said to me, like, I'm going to do, well, they did, actually. They did. But I was, like, trying to keep the whole thing together. We have kids, yada, yada, yada. But it's a very crazy, terrible thing to go through, that's for sure.
Yeah.
But I think probably I didn't react at all in this way just because, probably because of my upbringing, seeing, you know, my mom physically assaulted on multiple occasions. So I never went there as far as, like, that wasn't even an option in my mind because of my upbringing. And you say, I'm never gonna, you know. But on the other hand, I think I probably handled it better because I was pretty much prepared, because it was clear to me this individual was trying to sabotage our relationship. You know, because they just...
Yeah.
You know, and in that case, it was just one of those things to me where it was like, they just couldn't do it anymore. You know, it's just, they couldn't. And, you know, you always say I make excuses for this person or whatever, but I just, to me, just based on the person's makeup and things of that nature, it was just...
Yeah.
It was just it, halas, you know, whatever. So I never went that way because I kind of had foresight. But if I was blindsided, I wouldn't have went that way either, just because of my background. But I wonder how I would have
reacted.
You know.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. Like, so, like, if you did that, I would be like, wow, you know what I mean? We wouldn't have a channel anymore, that's for sure. But there you go. What do you give the song?
Wow. Okay, it's not my thing. I'll never listen to it again because it actually was very scary to me. Secondly, because there was actually somebody in my life that's actually a very scary person, and they used to blow those smoke rings, and that was in the song too.
Who?
I'll tell you later. But
Do I know?
Yeah, you do. But anyway, like that, like when the smoke ring thing came up, I was already scared of the song, and then the smoke ring thing was like just kind of put it over the edge.
Oh.
So
I've never seen this guy. Good for you. Okay.
So I think that it's like probably like a 9.7 as far as like really like they really captured it well, but they captured it so well that it freaked me out.
Yeah, I gave it a 9.5 because I thought that they were extremely ambitious.
And it kept changing. The song kept changing throughout.
Yeah.
And then the vocals were in there, and then there was like a mommy. There was like a lot of scary.
Yeah. Unsettling.
Unsettling, yes.
Is the word.
Yeah,
so,
that would be the word.
There you go, ladies and gentlemen. If you want relationship advice, all you have to do is email Vin and Sori, and we'll fill you in on the details. Vin out.
Sorry out.
Down.